Pregnancy cravings! Hi ladies, it's Abby McKenna here from Ready Set Mum, and during this video we are going to talk about pregnancy cravings. What are pregnancy cravings? Why do we get them? When do they start? And what can we do with the sometimes problematic pregnancy cravings? Now, pregnancy cravings, apart from being fantastically fulfilling and sometimes quite problematic, but I'm going to talk to you about my experience in a minute, are just that. They're cravings. So we know that cravings are almost that unmanageable, unresistible desire for whatever food it is that you are wanting. And the really interesting thing about some people and their pregnancy cravings is that unlike cravings that we might get when we're not pregnant, we might crave kind of different foods or weird foods. So we've all heard of people that want hot dogs and yogurt, or they can't help but go to the fridge and fill a bowl of ice cream and then put pickles or gherkins on top of it. Now, there's a number of different explanations as to why we get cravings while we are pregnant. Some doctors and scientists suggest that the reason that we get pregnancy cravings, same as the reason that we get cravings when we're not pregnant, is because there is some type of nutritional deficiency in our diet. So our body is craving something. As an example, if we're needing more iron, we might find that we're craving red meat or veggies that are full of iron. We might find that if our bodies are low on sugar, that we might need sugar, and then we go out and we crave high sugar fruits or lollies or candy or chocolates. Another explanation why we get cravings and pregnancy cravings is out of stress and anxiety and lack of sleep. So when we lose sleep or when we've got a bit of a sleep deficiency, we struggle to regulate our appetite. We might find that we are more hungry. Now double that with all of the nutrients that your body is devouring and utilizing in order to grow your baby, you might be able to not manage some of your pregnancy cravings and you just want to eat and eat and eat because you're hungrier and your body needs something. Some of us have also developed a habit when we're stressed or anxious to eat. It makes us feel better. If we're feeling guilty about something, we might go and eat. If we're feeling down about something, we might go and eat. Exactly the same. So stress and anxiety might be one of the reasons for your pregnancy cravings. Another reason for your pregnancy cravings might be the need for you to feel happier and produce happy hormones. So many women crave sweet things. I've heard this from lots of women. Now, I was one of these in my first pregnancy, and my first pregnancy wasn't the happiest time in my life, and I craved a thing called Nutella. We're going to talk about that a little bit later on. But a lot of women crave high sugar foods. Now, when we eat sugar, it puts stuff into our body that makes us feel happier. High sugar, we get more energy and we feel really good. Our brain goes off and goes, oh, I've eaten sugar and I feel good for a little bit. Our receptors know that this is happening. So if we're feeling a little bit low and we want to feel happy, we might get unmanageable desire for really sweet, high sugar foods. Now, like most things to do with pregnancy, cravings differ from woman to woman. It also differs during your pregnancy, so throughout different pregnancies. A number of women will experience cravings starting in the first trimester. A lot of them peak in the second trimester, but like we said, like every pregnancy, it's different for each woman and it's different for your follow-on pregnancies as well. Trust me, you are going to know. You can't resist it, it's unmanageable, you want that thing. You might have heard those stories of the wife turning to the husband pregnant at 3:30 in the morning saying, you have to go and travel 23 miles to this particular shop to give me this chicken with this amount of spices on it. You want it and you want it now. Now, pregnancy cravings are different to food aversions, and a lot of pregnant women will experience food aversions. Food aversions is where you cannot stand a food. The smell of it, the sight of it, the thought of it might make you want to go and throw up in the toilet. I experienced food aversions with both of my pregnancies, so I used to love anchovies. I still do. As soon as I was pregnant, I couldn't even look at a jar of anchovies, let alone consume it. It would come straight up, and then as soon as my baby's delivered, anchovies were back on the menu. Now, different cultures have different beliefs around food cravings while you're pregnant, and some of these are so interesting. So we thought that we would talk about some of these today. In Southeast Asia, if a woman has pregnancy cravings and then she indulges in those foods, Southeast Asian women actually believe that the baby will be born without deformity and be completely healthy. In Malta, it is believed that if a woman follows her pregnancy cravings, that her baby will be born without a representational birthmark. And then in the Philippines, it's believed that the baby will take on the qualities imparted by that food. So as an example, if a woman craves squid balls, then the baby will come out with a beautiful, white, healthy complexion. Yes, you absolutely can. There are some instances where women have reported that they have craved a thing called pica, P-I-C-A. And these are things other than food like dirt, crayons, paper, and even ice scraped from the freezer. Now you can see that these kind of cravings can be problematic and dangerous. So if you are craving these things, make sure you inform your healthcare provider or your doctor straight away so that they can help you deal and avert yourself from these cravings. Now, it's completely understandable that you are going to get pregnancy cravings. And of course, if you are craving great things, I know a number of women that have craved oranges, that is fantastic, but we need to make sure that we are still getting the right amount of all the nutrients that we need in order to support ourselves and the development of our beautiful growing baby. Now, I myself, during my first pregnancy, had a crazy craving for Nutella. Now, for anyone that does not know what that is, I haven't touched it since I've been pregnant, and I hadn't actually touched it since I was a child, but it is a spread that you put on bread, and it is a hazelnut chocolate mixed spread. I got to the point where I was consuming a jar of Nutella every single night. I could not help myself, and I was sort of like, oh, I was pregnant, I was fit and healthy, but I literally put on 23 kilos, which is 50.6 pounds. Now, a lot of this was water weight, and I lost a lot of weight straight after once my fluid retention started to slow down and remove itself, but a lot of my weight gain was also to Nutella. So you may like to deal with some of your pregnancy cravings, and we're going to look at how you can do that right now. First of all, make sure you are eating a nutrient-rich variety of really good healthy foods. So you need iron, you need magnesium, you need fantastic vitamins, and you need fiber-rich food, and all of those wonderful things to not only help your body during your pregnancy, support your body during the pregnancy, but also to support the growth and development of your baby. So make sure you've got really good foods on hand, and whenever you're cooking yourself meals or you're snacking, you're getting a really good variety of food that is absolutely nutrient rich and full of really good, yummy nutrition. The second thing that you might like to do is to eat slowly, all right? So rather than binging, just indulge. Now, I know how hard this is because when I had that jar of Nutella, I was like, all right, it was absolutely insane. But try just eating a little bit of chocolate and then moving away and waiting for half an hour and distracting yourself and then coming back and maybe having another little bit if you need to until that craving subsides. You might also like to eat a little bit and then gulp down a glass of water. You're going to feel fuller more often, so you're not going to feel as hungry, and you'll find that you won't be able to eat as much of that food that you are craving. Also, make sure that you graze on really good foods during the day so that you are keeping full. Also, make sure that you are not skipping meals. So make sure you're having breakfast, snack, lunch, snack, dinner, and then maybe a snack of really good foods. Once again, you're not going to feel hungry all the time, so your cravings might not be as strong, and you might not want to indulge and devour as much of that craving as you would if you were hungry. On that note, when you do your grocery shopping, take a list so that you can't divert your attention and your focus and your energy on the Nutella when you're meant to be getting nuts. Okay? And yeah, the other thing to do is make sure that you eat before you go grocery shopping, because we all know how easy it is to stock up our trolley with not so good foods while we're hungry when we're grocery shopping. Also, make sure you let your doctor or your care provider know if you feel like you are overindulging on not so good foods or dangerous things such as dirt, crayons, and freezer ice, and make sure you keep active. Just like me and Nutella, these pregnancy cravings can cause us to put on weight. They can cause us to feel really low. Exercising helps us to be happy. It helps us to keep a steady, healthy weight gain during pregnancy, and it does all sorts of wonderful things for our body. So make sure you're at least doing some gentle exercise and you're staying active every single day. Another few things that you might like to try is to eat low GI foods, foods with a lower glycemic index. What this does is it keeps you fuller for longer, so you might not need to crave all the time. Also, getting enough rest and sleep is very important. Often, like we said before, if you don't get enough sleep, if you're in sleep debt or sleep deficit, you can feel hungry and you're not able to regulate your appetite as well. So make sure you're getting sleep when you can, and you can also look at having substitutes for your unhealthy cravings. Now, we're going to look at some substitutes for some common cravings right now. It's a really fantastic idea that you try an alternative food to some of your unhealthy cravings. So some of the alternatives we're going to look at now to some of the most common cravings are really fantastic options. They're healthier, they keep you fuller for longer, and they have a higher nutrition value. Now, one of the most common pregnancy cravings is chocolate. This may be the sweetness, this may be the sugar content. So if you're after some chocolate or something a little bit naughty and sweet, you might like to try some fresh fruits. You might go and get yourself a nice healthy icy pole. Maybe try dark chocolate as an alternative, because I can eat a whole block of milk chocolate, but not so much dark chocolate because it's very rich. Or even some yogurt. Wait a little bit longer for the sugar to kick in, and I'm sure that this will help you with your craving. A lot of women also crave ice cream. So an alternative for this is frozen yogurt if you are after something cold, or of course if you don't want something cold but you want something sweet and you're after dairy, have a look for some yogurt. Now, a lot of women also crave pasta, so you might like to look for whole grain foods that keep you fuller longer than your usual white pasta that you might consume. And also if you're after something greasy, so if you're out to get a burger or a hot dog or some chips, you can look to protein. So you might like to eat some fish, or you might go and make yourself some beautiful hummus dip. I love hummus dip with some really good rice crackers, one that's nutritious and it's going to help you with your cravings. Yes, it is possible. We have heard of some women craving things like cigarette ash, toothpaste, mothballs, alcohol, and the picker that we were speaking about before. Make sure you turn to your midwife, your healthcare professional, or your doctor straight away, because obviously consuming these things can be harmful not only to you but also your baby. Now, pregnancy cravings can be a really fun thing, ladies. During my second pregnancy, towards the end, I craved spicy foods like you wouldn't believe. Actually, the night that I went into labor before I got flown out to Alice Springs with my second daughter, I craved jalapenos so bad that I made myself a pizza and put about half a can or half a jar of jalapenos on that pizza. Lo and behold, I went into labor that night, and it was probably because my intestines were going really hardcore and triggering my uterus to contract as well. So we hope that you have enjoyed this video. Of course, make sure you head across to the article at Ready Set Mum. Read up on different pregnancy cravings. We've also got a list of alternatives there that can help you with your not so helpful, productive or healthy pregnancy cravings. And like always, let us know what your pregnancy cravings were and how you dealt with them if they weren't so fantastic. It takes a village to make sure that you go through a healthy pregnancy, you look after yourself, and to raise children. Any tips are always welcome from all of our mums here at Ready Set Mum, and we can't wait to see you in the next video or on the website at Ready Set Mum.